2 failed recordings later. The air is tense in this room, for you see, a new life is about to be born. I understand your anxiety too, Your Majesty. By the way, I like your cape. Yeah, you really should take a seat. You're probably going to wear out that carpet. All those kingly shoes. And quite obviously the seat has not worked. No. It's happened. It's happened. I'm not running up to his wife and child. This is Poke's commentary. I'll explain more later. And also, please forgive me if I speed through text by accident. If I speed through text a bit quick. Or if there's an... And also, you may notice it here, the music or videos kind of like skip a little. That's because it's transitioning to a new section of the video. Again, I'll explain more why later. Yes, this child does deserve to be named right now. Wait, but Madison? There's actually a little Easter egg about that. First, call yourself Madison on the naming screen. And now he'll suggest the name Erdwick. Yeah, they reference that. That's pretty nice. I like that actually. And there was supposed to be the hero's name, and the hero's name was supposed to be revealed there, but for some strange reason, I'm not sure what happened there. Unless I accidentally edited it out. Oh wait, you called him Owen anyway. His name shows up there, but Maddo said, "Why didn't we call him Owen?" And Erdrick, no, not Erdrick, Pancras just said, "If that's the name you want, that's the name he'll have." But the name is still shown then, was shown then anyway. But unfortunately, I've been blabbering too long, and I'll explain it after this part. Welcome. This is Matt Rule 64, and this is my brand new LP. A game that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. One of my favourite games of all time. A game that was originally being played on this channel but stopped. I welcome you to Let's Play Dragon Quest V, Hand of the Heavenly Bride. Yeah, there's supposed to be a 5 there. In case you're wondering, numbers were too good for us Europeans. Of course, that's not really the reason. That's because the other games weren't released in Europe. And 8 was the first one that was released in Europe. Yeah, you were like, had a fancy cape, man. You lifted me in the air. As if you were calling upon the power of Grayskull. I suppose it is nonsense then. Yeah, actually that's a good idea. Yeah, you may notice that the character's name I called Owe. That's a reference to not Dragon Quest. Fire Emblem Awakening. Which is an awesome game, by the way, and you should play it. But anyway, I'll go over the menu here. This is items, self-explanatory. Each character can hold about, I think, 12 items, I believe. Or was it 8? And you have a bag that can store an infinite amount of items. We actually have a medicinal herb that can heal you, and a seed of resilience, which will increase one of your stats permanently. But anyway, talk feature, basically you select talk when you're in front of an NPC, you'll talk to them. But if you're not near an NPC, you'll talk to your party. I don't have any party members, so I can't. Imagine it's self-explanatory. Examine is self-explanatory, but to be honest, I never use it. Same with talk. I never use it either, because there's a shortcut to party talk feature on the B button. Examine can be done by A, just like everything else. Attributes, which kind of self-explanatory, allows you to take a look at your stats. if you highlight the wagon, you can see stats of your adventure, you can see everyone's HP, MP, attack, defense, and levels. Equip, which I never use. Basically allows you to go through your entire equipment. Lineup, you can change lineup of party members. I'll go over that when it's pertinent. Tactics, again, I'll go over that when that's pertinent. Organize items, you can get a character. So, sort bags kind of like self-explanatory. Battle mess speed is pretty much options. And also, there's also Heal All, which basically gets characters to use healing spells to heal the entire party as efficiently as possible. I never use that though. Handy, but I never use it. Likewise, I never use tactics, but we'll go over that when it becomes pertinent again. Anyway, this is in post commentary. That's because if you remember, if you ever watched my update video I did a few months ago, I was planning on using this DS emulator, which is actually a unofficial build of DS Mumi called JIT, which has the JIT something like compound. I'm not really sure what it's called or what it's supposed to be, but it speeds up DS Mumi. Basically a faster version. As it turns out, sometime after I did that video, the official DS Mumi is now starting to use JIT. So that's pretty nice. Also, there's a mirror. I'll go over that because I do examine the mirror in this place later. But they're not really that important, but I will talk about it. And I'm using... The only thing is with JIT is that how fast it is depends on the game. I remember Chrono Trigger, it ran really well. This game, it runs decently well, albeit its speed is very inconsistent, and also because of the lag, the sound is just painful. And that was a really odd There we go. That's better. A really bad impression of Younger Fantasy. But anyway. And I'm using AVI to do this. The other thing is that AVI, when you're recording, is laggy as all hell. But persevere and you will be rewarded. As you can see, the output file is actually in 60 FPS, which is real nice. So yeah, that's the thing about that AVI recording. Persevere and you will be rewarded. Also, not really sure how I'm going to lay out this video. I mean, trying to figure that out. Unfortunately, if I want to get the most out of it, I'd probably have to use a different video creation tool than Windows like Movie Maker. I know, but most of the books is book of jokes. Sometimes if you examine a bookcase, you'll find an interesting book. Not everyone. Then they're pretty useless for the most part. They just show you talk about random things. Sometimes you might press something and warthog. Excuse me for a moment. Right, now that I've glued myself back to calm down and glued myself back together, this is Modern Dragon Quest. There's going to be worse puns than that, and I certainly hope that your body is ready. And a mirror. Sometimes you can examine mirrors and you'll get characters your own reactions. Oh, game! Now that is just a sick burn. God, you are terrible. Also, this guy's awesome. Gah! Hey, you didn't scream enough. Bit of an odd, are you? I think, not sure if that applies to TJAP's version of the SNES version, but Bu's fan translation patch, which is more literal, he apparently thinks you're a sea monster. I personally don't find that as funny, nor does it make as much sense to me. Probably does, but to me it doesn't really. So I like that, like how they did that one. But anyway, as I was saying, for that game just gave me a sick burn. Screw you, game. Sometimes if you have a party member put certain people in the lead and examine mirrors, you might get them to say something. Each character has their own different interactions with a mirror, unlike Dragon Quest IV, which most of them had like the same generic things, except for about three interactions that are exclusive to that character. I believe each character has, like I said, I believe in this game each character has their own reactions to a mirror. I'm not sure about Dragon Quest 6. I can't remember if I saw any mirrors in 6. I can't remember if I did the same thing there. And broke all those barrels and get a medicinal herb. By the way, I think we saw a TNT ticket. But by the way, all those chests down there, they are completely locked. They're all locked. So don't bother with them. There's no point in trying to open them all, because you can't. And we saw a TNT ticket, that will come into play later. TNT tickets will. But anyway, we made port. And who's that over there? Well, no, really. Okay, we'll tell him. And by the way, my apologies for the long length of this video. I think later videos won't be as long, but we'll see. And also, I should mention that there's actually not going to be much action in this episode. So my apologies for that. This game does start with a lot of talking. There's going to be a few fights before we get to our destination, which is Wheelbook. But there's not much action. Just talk, talk, talk. But don't worry, you'll see some battles in the next episode. Don't worry, you will see some. Yeah, who is that? Oh, that's Mr. Bruscoletti, I see. And oh shit. Yeah, no offense, but if Charles playing up, you really shouldn't like get out of the way for them to like charge onto the ship. Let it go around you. Although that does sound a bit sexist for some reason. Never mind. He seems like a nice bloke though. I mean, after all, he doesn't really seem to care that much that there's two random Tom, Dick and Harrys on his ship, and aren't part of his staff. Or should I say daughter, since one of them has really gone over their head. And by the way, warning, cuteness overload coming in 3, 2, 1. She can't get up the step. Yeah, it's not really that big, but she can't get up it. Here comes Pancras, to the aid of the ladies. Not a problem. No, it wasn't me who did it. By the way, you can go to the Duck Suite, which I already went into earlier while I was babbling. babbling away in this video. You can actually go in there and talk to said children who are called Deborah and Nira. But I actually didn't bother in this playthrough, and I don't know why. Mostly because you don't really get much anything real interesting out of them. Yeah, I go into here, but I don't think I talk to them. I'll show you where they are. But usually I talk to them in my playthroughs, but this time I decided not to. Also, the man that led Nero into the suite is there. Yeah, we're ready to disembark. If you said no, you'll just say, oh, being sad to go. Just go and say your goodbyes. And I think other people will say, the people here will say something different if you talk to them again. Now that the ship's about to disembark. But I'm not really sure I never did that. In fact, I never tend to, when I play RPGs, I never tend to talk to everyone, like most JRPG players. And especially I'm not going to here, especially since that, because of the speed of DS Mumi recording, that will take ages. And to be honest, near the end of this video, I was getting slowly demoralized because, stop talking. This is going slower for some reason. Stop talking. Get it back safely, did you? Yeah, Pancras is badass, by the way. This guy is one of my favourite Dragon Quest characters of all time. Second only to Yangus. Nothing could beat Yangus. I'm sorry. Pancras may be a badass, maybe the most awesome father of all time, aside from Ethan James, I can't remember his name, from that guy from Heavy Rain. Yangus is amazing. Yangus is awesome. Yangus is all kind of awesome swords. And there I thought, yes. I was about to say something. Never mind. Yeah, and it's pretty much insane. You can go outside if you want. In the Super Nintendo version, if you go outside, you instantly get into a battle. But we'll go with that when we get over that. Anyway, we have Treasure Map, which is... no, not Treasure Map. Adventures Map, which is completely useless. And this is the point where like, oh wait, this is my Seed of Resilience. I never used it. What the hell? Basically, the Seed of Resilience will increase our resilience by either 1 to 3 points. And here, I nearly jizzed all over the walls. 3! I never usually get 3, usually I get 2, and recently on my playthrough on my actual DS, I managed to get 2. I'm like, ooh, I got 2. That's pretty cool. Because usually the RNG like takes a dump on me when it comes to that. And to be honest, the Hero's Resilience isn't that great, which is kind of frustrating. But luck isn't good either, but there's a good reason for that, and we'll delve into that when we delve into that. Yes, and he's just come back. And I'm the little boy who just came back with him. Yes, he did. And now I'm the little boy. He's outside. What do you mean by that? He's outside. Just take a look. He's outside. What is wrong with you? Fine, we'll nick your stuff. There's nothing there. Ah! Actually, I could have used that as the tip there. Oh well. And here you can actually go back into Little Haven if you want, and you can go get Pancras, and you'll say, took you long enough. You certainly took your time, and you'll rejoin the party and go outside. However, something a little odd happens. You skip this battle, but a little odd thing happens after you get into a battle, which I'll explain in a bit, because he's about to say it. But anyway, as you see, Pancras can slay anything in one hit, and he can actually attack twice, but I don't think we saw it there. Are you alright? And also after battle, he'll cast heal on us. It doesn't come from his MP though, thankfully. By the way, if you went back into town and collected Pancras, then travel this and skip this battle, he'll still say this anyway. Which doesn't really make sense to me, but oh well. And also you may notice that the map is completely clean. That's because I actually used an action replay code to reveal the map. Because the fog effect they use for it kind of like lags the game hardcore. So yeah, I believe there's one for all 3 DS Zenithia remakes. I know H. Bailey used it for his 5 and 4 Let's Plays. However, he was doing it live, probably because his computer was that strong enough. Mine isn't. And we gained a level. Maximum HP increased by 5. MP increased by 3. We get MP, but we don't get a spell to use them for until like level 4. Yes, thank you for the heal. I think you'll always level up, but we saw 2 new enemies, 3 new enemies. But we're talking. Well, there's going to be a lot of talking. I may as well explain them because I didn't for some reason. We have slimes, which are basically your pretty much your average cannon fodder. Don't worry about them, except later in the game. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Funky ferrets, which I actually saw they kind of like fart. They're not really anything special, but there's also candy cat. No, not candy cats. Gel cats, which are actually, I think they're new to the DS version. They weren't in the PS2 or Super Nintendo versions. Those enemies were first introduced in Journey of the Cursed King, where they were just like weird, zany. Those were a problem with one of my favorite enemies in that game. Only they lost out to Not So Macho, which is an awesome enemy name. Greatest name for an enemy, by the way. I love that name so much. But we're kind of going off topic. But I mentioned there's 3 versions of Dragon Quest. There's this version I'm playing right now, the SNES version, which I would like to LP in the future, as it does have a lot of major differences. Like for example, I noticed that I think you level up a lot faster, or it might be a bit harder than this game. But I might look into that more. Oh, and by the way, this nun is awesome. Glory be to the goddess. I beg your pardon, I seem to have gotten carried away. But Sonic, I'm happy. Seriously, this nun is awesome. I mean seriously. More searches need more nuns like this. And Mayor Sancho is Mexican, by the way. And also, as we'll see later, he's quite an emotional person. But also, quickly, I would like to say, there's also a PS2 version, which was released before Journey to the Cursed King. And to be honest, its graphics really weren't that great. It was 3D, by the way. And who's this? And it was actually more like this version, actually. But again, I'll talk about that a little later because I didn't really have enough time. And Pancras knows this person. And Mr. Whitaker is apparently ill. Yeah, let's do that. Gonna talk is boring, and also I'm getting very demoralized at this point. And inside, I was begging, stop talking, stop talking, stop talking. I'm making a new memory. No. I've never met you in my entire life. In fact, this is the first time my father's even seen you. So we're 6. I feel awesome for some reason. Okay. By the way, I think it was Bu's translation of the Super Nintendo version wasn't quite subtle here. They kind of like up into the sky, something like that. They give a hint to something that's later in the game. Also, take a look. It's inside this book. Don't read it. Yeah, I'm not funny. And they're going back to the inn. Also, if you go in the inn and go up to the top floor of the inn, you'll actually see them there, and you can talk to them. So we want to break the spot and open this and get ourselves a leather hat, a free leather hat. That's why it's glorious. It's free. Equip the hat. Bow before your new master. Yeah. A pot lid, which we can't use, and a medicinal herb. I actually never knew these 2 items were here. In fact, I only just found them out recently. I was like, what, really? They actually hid stuff here? I see the strength, which is pretty much like I see the resilience, but increases your strength by the same amount. Possible amount, and we got a dud. Rage. Although then again, our hero does have a lot of strength. And it will raise. Oh, I think I'm about to stop this video right here because I'm near the end. Bye.